Hey Columbus, it is C-Bus Nathan. I am so excited for this week's video. I get to sit down with the owner of Hamilton Parker, which is a building material company here in Columbus, Ohio, but they do have a lot of things in the luxury market. So if you are somebody who is looking to, potentially redo a kitchen, home, or even build your own home, and you want some design trends, or you want to see what materials are out there, you need to stick around for this video. We are here with Adam Lewin, who is the owner of Hamilton Parker. It has been passed down from generation to generation.
Correct.
So I would love for you to tell the viewers a little bit about how Hamilton Parker came to be and what it is now.
Absolutely, Nathan, I appreciate it. For me, the history is everything about kind of how we got to here for obvious reasons, but it's part of our story, and I love telling our story. My grandparents in 1934 were basically willing to take a risk on a company that was being sold at auction. It was a coal company known as Hamilton and Parker Fuel and Supply, and they borrowed $500 from an uncle and used that money to then purchase the purchase the business. And I mean, it was during the Great Recession and the Great Depression, and everything was at risk. And so they didn't change the name of the company because they wanted to make sure that any existing customers felt like they were still doing business with the same company. So there's no Hamilton, there's no Parker in the business today. Okay. But really, my grandmother ran the books, she ran the business side, and my grandfather ran, the sales and really the customer relationships.
Okay.
So my father saw what his parents had done for him, and he grew up around the business. I mean, there was still a coal company basically as my father was growing up. So he was there with all the customers that were needing materials. And then as he came into the business, things started going away. Coal was not being used as a fuel source, a heat source. So they had to bring on other products to support the business, and so they brought on brick and masonry products in the 50s and 60s. They brought on fireplaces in the 70s. They brought on tile in the 80s, and then in the 90s we brought on garage doors. It was a true family business for me growing up. Every summer, every Saturday, I worked in the brickyard and in the warehouses, in the tile warehouse, stacking brick, picking up trash, sweeping warehouses. My sisters worked in the business as well. And then my mom was working in the tile business as well when we opened up that. So we were all in, on just how the business was a part of our family and how we relied on it and wanted to work together. So then I went away to school and then came back, and I approached my father. It was probably, I think, my junior or senior year. I approached my father and asked him if I could join the company. And so I came in the business in 1995. Okay. My sisters, by that point, were starting to have their own families, so they gradually phased out of the business. And I just worked with my dad side by side for about 12 years before he passed away in 2006. But I had bought the business. I had been in the business. I was currently at that time president of the company, so I was running the day-to-day. So I bought the business as part of our family planning, and then at that point, I owned the business myself, and sort of it was on my path to take it and grow it, from there. Cool. So just from there, in 2006, we went through the Great Recession.
Yes.
2 years after I bought the business, our revenue was down 42%.
Okay.
I like to say that I was probably too young and too naive to really understand how bad it was, but we persevered through that. And then there was opportunities in Cincinnati to expand. We opened up a showroom there. I wanted to cover the state, so we opened up a showroom for tile in Cleveland. And then we bought a division of another company that allowed us to do more on the national account side of business.
Beautiful. Yeah, I feel like just stepping into the space alone, you can see what differentiates you from various other construction companies out there. I mean, you step into the showroom and there are so many different options out there, but these are options that you don't get to see day in and day out. And like maybe these are just things that customers who are walking in potentially only can see online. So what are some key factors within Hamilton Parker that today set you apart from other companies out there when maybe somebody's looking to renovate their home or build their own home?
Well, first of all, as far as the building itself, I mean, we relocated we're near downtown Columbus, and when we built this, it was sort of a state-of-the-art facility in the sense that we took all 4 of these different product lines, put them into one building, and it was just, there was really not a place like this in the country. And then we updated it around 2019 because we needed to. Like, we're in a style business, and whether it's a fireplace that maybe in the 70s was not this highly refined look, now it's very polished and there's amazing products. Garage doors are not just a steel up and down, product. There's wood finishes, there's all types of carriage door looks, and then of course there's the tile side and the masonry side, the brick side, that are way more stylistically, needing to be updated and shown for people to understand. I think that when people come in here, first of all, especially in Central Ohio, we're a part of the community. My family is part of the community, and we have been here for a long time. So people should come here with an expectation, and we love to meet that expectation of great products, products that not only maybe you can see online, but you can touch and feel it in our place, which I feel is an extremely different experience than just buying something online. And then of course, our people. We invest a lot in training. We invest a lot in the culture of our people. We want to support them through their lives, not just from a professional standpoint, but from a personal standpoint, because that's what family's about. And so we are a true family business, and we want to make sure our people feel good at work so they can feel good going home, and vice versa.
So talking about that family business, it can lead into your core values, because I think that this is so great and it's very important for the viewers to hear. So do you want to touch on what your core values are here?
Sure, absolutely. So the background is the fact that every quarter I meet with all the new employees that join Hamilton Parker. So we have roughly 150 employees across all locations, and our core values, for me, it all starts with basically what I do every quarter with all of our new employees. So we have roughly 150 employees, and just like in any business, for the most part, we have a lot of people that are here for a long time, but you have people that come in and we want to make them part of our team. So the reason why I state that is because my grandparents, or especially my parents, because that's what I grew up around, I mean, they knew every employee, they knew everybody that was there, they knew what was going on in their lives, and that was when there was only like even 12 employees. I remember when there was only roughly 12 employees in the business. So it was all about the connection. And so what I do every quarter is I meet with all the new employees that joined over the course of that quarter, and I go through the history of the company, and I talk about our core values, so I get to know them on a personal level. And it's just about basically saying we're here for you. So our core values were a result of that because we wanted to have the same message that we talked to everybody about when they came on board. And so we created the core values of HEART, and it's history, enthusiastic, adaptive, reputable, and team-oriented. And we worked over those words, we talked about them a lot, and then once we selected the words that mattered to us, that we felt bubbled up, lo and behold, it's spelled HEART, and that's very much how we lead the business. And those words, history, enthusiastic, adaptable, reputable, team-oriented, I mean, it's everything that my grandparents went through, it's everything my parents went through, and it's everything that's important to us as we just create relationships within the community on all levels.
And continue to navigate this crazy real estate market.
Absolutely.
We were talking about that a little bit before.
There has been, every family business, goes through certain phases and challenges, and I won't sit here and say that I've been through more than my dad, or they're all different flavors of challenges and what you go through, and you've got to be resilient, you've got to be adaptive, you have to be willing to say, some years we're going to make more money than other years, but on the years where we don't make money because the challenges are there. It's how do we take care of our team so that they can see the other side of this as well.
Yeah.
And that's always what we've been about.
I mean, that's beautiful. It's such a great way because, I mean, especially with a family-run business, those are kind of the key special moments
Absolutely.
within that type of business. And that's what I love so much about your company as
Thank
well,
you.
is that it is very family-oriented. It's been, in Columbus for so long that it's a great story to tell to people. And as soon as people step into here, they can feel the heart that comes with everything. There's so much opportunity within just your showroom as far as products are involved, and what are some things that potentially when someone comes into the showroom that they're going to find that they might not be able to find elsewhere.
Sure. Well, first of all, I will tell you that in every situation, what I take the most compliments from is when someone tells me they had a great experience or they were at Hamilton Parker. And I mean, I didn't meet them. I didn't get a chance. Maybe I knew them or maybe I met them after the fact. But when they say they had a great experience, whether it was on a garage door service call or a showroom visit, like that's what makes me feel really good, because it says what we talk about is working. As far as products, I think that we work really hard on having the cutting edge products that are here. We do have high-end products that are going to be more expensive than maybe some other options, but we also have products that can be used in other areas that are going to be less expensive. But what I think we're really good at is understanding what is important to you, what is your budget, and how do we make sure that we can mix things in that'll make the space amazing, but it doesn't mean that it's something that you have to stress about expense-wise. You tell us what you need from a budget standpoint. You tell us what style you want to, achieve and what the finished product is, that you want to envision, and we'll help you marry those together. And I think that, in the world of chat GBT and AI and online, like you can actually have people that will help you and talk to you and answer your questions and be responsive. And for sure, that is something that is just different. And we are always talking about our new products, but we also work with our manufacturers for many, many years. So that is one differentiator I'll say is very important to us is you come in and I'll just say Belden Brick, Crossville Tile, there's others. Like we have had these relationships for 20 and 30 years. So we have a historical standpoint that I know is very different from a lot of companies. So.
Well, you do see a lot of things as you're walking through that maybe you don't get to see every day, and the ability to actually touch, feel it, and see
Absolutely.
how that would fit in a space, or how expansive that feels, or what have you. I mean, especially these larger tiles that are like right behind us. That is such a cool moment, especially, again, it's not something that you get to see every day, and it is, I mean, I talked to Britt about it a little bit as we were walking through the showroom, but she was mentioning that, the custom build luxury market is pushing a lot of these trends, and you guys are constantly keeping up with what that market is looking for. So, I mean, if there's somebody out there viewing right now that has been wanting to redo their space or potentially looking to build, I mean, they would be remiss to not come and visit you to see the products in person.
I agree 100%.
Yeah,
and I think that the other part is we're there to support your customers through their project, and there's times where things sometimes they don't match up or whatever, and it's like how do we help solve the problem? Because at the end of the day, I want the homeowner, one, to trust who you're referring to as a resource, but also I want them to feel great about the product that they're seeing every day. And we don't build a reputable company, to use one of our core values, if we're not standing by what we talk about and what we sell and how to help your customers. So we want it to be great, and if there's an issue, we want to respond in the right way.
And one thing that I would love for you to touch on briefly, so somebody just comes in, they don't potentially have somebody that they're working with, or they just want to come in and get some product or see the product in person, the ability for them to potentially be matched up with a Hamilton Parker designer. Can you talk about that process a little bit?
Absolutely. First of all, we're open to the public. So you can come in anytime, and it doesn't matter to us what the size of your project is. It's what can we do for you, and then help you along the way. We've put on our website, the history of our sales associates, design associates, to help people feel that they can connect from there and make an appointment. You can also call our front desk and ask, tell me about your designers, and we can talk about those. It's really about whatever works for you. I always say though that if you're doing a bigger project, it's always good to sit down with someone and really make an appointment, and it's just so they can tell their story about the house, and then our person can help them along the way. But we're not a commission-based company. It's all about team, another one of our core values, and it's about working together to do that. So our team does a great job leaning on each other. If there's a question from a homeowner that maybe a designer maybe doesn't have the background on, I don't think it happens that often, but they lean on each other to find a solution.
Beautiful, I love that. And I've had past clients who went through the new build process and have come to Hamilton Parker to pick out their selections and everything, and they had nothing but great things to say. So, I mean, it just, again, continues to spread out there into the community, and hopefully this will help spread it a little bit as well.
And we have, what I love is when I see people that have been here for 20 years, talking to someone who's maybe been here a couple of years, and the mentorship, the guidance, the sharing, the experiences, and it's on both sides. It's not just, you know, from the person that's been here a long time to the person that's new. I mean, they're all coming from different angles, and it's always good when we can learn from each other.
I love that, yeah.
So,
and
makes
before,
it stronger for the customer.
It does, for sure. And before we, wrap up here, I am super passionate about like working with nonprofits, highlighting them as well on this channel, and giving them space to tell their stories. And I know that you guys are so involved within the community, and that's one thing that I loved, that really stood out about your company as well. So can you just tell them a little bit about what you do as far as community involvement? And
Sure. It always goes back to our history, right? And so there was always a time where the owner of a company just gives to charity and makes that donation. My dad and my mom did it a lot anonymously. Other times we had our names on it. It just depends. But at that point, it was sort of like them making the decisions. And as I came into the business, there are things that are my priorities, but I want to make sure that our employees have a voice in what we contribute to. So what we established was our two priority charities, which is Pelotonia and Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Ohio. Those are charities that can cross over to a lot of different, people, but and very different, right? So during the course of the year, we have those two charities. We do a lot of events and fundraisers with the employees to just build funds for that, for both of those. But then in addition to that, I mean, we've sponsored baseball teams of kids. We've done, we have VTO, which is volunteer time off, where we pay people that they can use that time be paid, and they can go to the food pantry, they can go to Ronald McDonald House, they can go to their church, they can read books to their kids' schools. I mean, it's all of these different things, but it's sort of something that's important to them, so we support that. And every month I'll just say that I review all of our charitable requests, because we get a lot, and I look at them and I just sort of make the decisions about, okay, these are ones that we know and we want to support, these are ones that are new and we try and do something, and other times it's just, we just need to learn more about them. So it's all across the board, but it is a monthly conversation about what we're doing to support entities within Central Ohio.
Well, and that's the thing that I love the most about Columbus, is that there's so many local businesses that are supporting and making the community stronger.
Sure.
And you're just a prime example
Thank
of
you.
that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, well, and I appreciate what you guys have done in the community and what you continue to do. And I just appreciate that there's this space for individuals to come and see what the next design trends are and get a sense of what materials can make their place feel like home, and how they can continue to give back to the community too.
Thank you. Well, it's all about experience, right? What is the experience that we're giving? And you touched on so many of them, whether it is the products or your own homeowners or the nonprofits. It's way bigger than just any of us as individuals. So.
Well, I appreciate your time.
Thank
you for sitting down and telling your story.
Thank you.
Yeah. hopefully you gained some great insight on why Hamilton Parker is such a great company here in Columbus, Ohio. If you have not had a chance to check out the showroom, I definitely challenge you to come down here and check it out. It is just east of downtown, maybe 5 minutes or so. It is beautiful. You'll get tons of ideas. I know I will be taking some ideas back home. And again, if you want to learn more about Columbus, what makes it tick, all of the various things that make this city so great, you know, nonprofits, what's going on in the real estate market, and companies that are doing amazing things right here in your backyard, continue to follow along. I put out new videos every Friday. Again, C-Bus Nathan, like, subscribe, and until next Friday, I hope you have a great week.